Hi there. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent Training. In today's Word of the Day class, we're going to look at the words our and are, how these words are said by themselves, how we reduce them, and how to use them together in phrases. So the request was, the viewer was telling me that they had challenges using phrases like are our things ready, our kids are such and such. So we're going to look at what happens with these words and the changes that we make with them. So first of all, if we just look at our and are, the difference between the two words is that our has the ow diphthong. So this is the same diphthong as in words like house or now. And in order to get our correct, you can think about pairing that diphthong ow sound. So I can say now, our, or our house. Of course, our is a triphthong because we also have the sound. So I rewrote that our this way with the word ow, like ow, that hurts, and the letters er to represent the sound. And so you can hear how there's a little bit of a glide in there, our. So it might help you to think about that W sound being in there as well, our. It's also the same. This word our is the same. It's a homophone with the word our. So our hours have been cut. There's a lot of length in there because we're starting, basically we have a diphthong, which is two vowels gliding between two vowel positions, moving into another vowel position, which means that there's a glide sound in between. So it's going to be pretty long, hour. And then when we're talking about are, like we are busy, that's the same as in, for example, is our car ready? How far are we? So we just have the combination. And I wrote that without the letters ER because you really do want to move smoothly and quickly from the to the R. So there's not really much glide there. It's not R. You don't really want it to be long or you're not going to get the right position. To say R, what I would suggest is think about your position and then just drop the tongue slightly and relax it and go back up. So building to get R, you just want R. The position where it starts is just central and more open, and then it tightens up into the R. I do have videos to help you with the different diphthongs of American R, and also you can check out more information for those sounds in our Sounds of English course on speechmodification.com. It's really going to help you make these sorts of distinctions. Now, the challenge here is that if I'm just saying the word by itself, or if it's stressed, for example, if I say it's ours, I'm going to say it that way. Are you going? We are. I'm going to say it that way. But in real life, in connected speech, both of these sounds get reduced. So rather than our house, we're often going to reduce the our to just are. So it'll sound like that's our house rather than our house. We may reduce it to sound more like that's our house. That's our house. And so it's confusing, but it's part of fluent speech is we often make reductions. So that's our house. I can say that's our house. It's correct. There's nothing wrong with it, but you will hear that reduction happening. That's our house. And then R often gets reduced just to So when we're talking about reductions, that means in fluent speech. So if I'm saying we are, and R is stressed, I'm going to keep this R. If I'm saying we are at our house, I'm going to say it more like We are at our house. We are. So in this case, I would probably reduce it all the way to the contraction we're, which also gets reduced down to were. So I'm going to give you another statement. For example, let's try kids are crazy. In this case, crazy is stress, so R gets reduced. It sounds more like Kids are crazy. Kids are really busy. Kids are, so the so R becomes . Knowing all this, we have our, in reductions. When we're using them together, we have to be pretty clear, or it's going to be hard to use them. So let's look at some phrases and see how we would say them naturally. If I'm saying, are our kids here? If I go slowly, I'm going to use are our kids here? Are our kids here? If I'm going quickly, are our kids here? I might end up with are our kids here? Are our kids here? It's too hard to do the our, and so we do end up reducing this our to are. Are our kids here? Are they here? And so that reduction is okay. This, because R starts the sentence, I'm not going to reduce that one to and then I'm never going to use our and R directly after it. Our kids are here. Our kids are here. In this case, I can reduce both of them. It's going to sound like our kids are here. Our kids are here. Our kids are here. So knowing that I can do those reductions, and that sometimes I'm not going to reduce. So if I'm starting the sentence with our kids here, I'm not going to change that to an . So the take-home message is, when you're practicing these kinds of phrases, notice those reductions. And most of the time you're going to hear in fluent speech that the our becomes more R and the R becomes more . You can always go slowly and do our that way, our, but you'll often hear it more like are our kids, are our friends coming, are our jobs done, our kids are here, our kids are here, our kids are here. Okay, so a range of different pronunciations for our and are, and depending on the context, you're going to use those reductions, you're going to hear those reductions, and that's part of probably why it felt uncomfortable for this viewer to use those two together. And the reductions happen because it's part of fluent speech. One other comment about reductions, it's not informal, it's not incorrect, it's just part of making our speech more fluent. Good morning, nice to see everyone here this morning. And I will make note of your requests and add them to our Future Word of the Day class. You can come back to our class on Friday at 12 o'clock live and ask your questions, and I'll answer them for you live. Thanks so much for being here and being part of the class today. I'll be back again tomorrow with our Word of the Day class, as well as on Friday, we'll have our live question and answer class where I take your questions about pronunciation, intonation, accent, anything to help you improve your overall communication live on Fridays. That's at 12 o'clock Seattle time, 3 o'clock Eastern time. I hope to see you there. Thanks, everyone, and thanks for this suggestion. If you have a request, please leave it in the comments, and I'll add it to my list to cover in a future class. I'm Christine Dunbar from SpeechModification.com. Remember, if you want to sound like a native speaker, you can do it. SpeechModification.com. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.